we've had several very good individuals that have left our company as a result of their inability to find appropriate care for their children. My name is Warren Beach. I'm CFO of Sierra Systems here in Vancouver. I'm also a father of 2 young children. I've got involved with Paul and UBC's early learning partnership a couple years ago because myself, as well as I think other business leaders in Vancouver, have really become more concerned about work-life conflict among parents with preschool age children. The costs really are staggering. The analysis that Paul did really focused on just 3 areas of this work-life conflict. 1 is absenteeism, 2 is employee turnover, and 3 is private healthcare premium costs. And when you look at the issue, I think the costs go beyond those areas, but the analysis that they did really just focused on those 3 areas. And the estimates that came out were that these costs in and of themselves cost the business community over $600 million a year. That is a big number, and it was the number that I originally looked at and said, you know, I absolutely believe that there's a cost. I'm just not sure it's that high. I'm now of the opinion that I do believe those costs are that high. I suggested to Paul, I said, you know, I really believe in this as an issue, and I would be more than happy to actually sit down with you and actually go through your numbers to provide a bit of a third-party view. And so that started the ball rolling with Paul and his team, as well as myself and 2 other chartered accountants that work with me in my group here at Sierra Systems, where we actually spent a fair amount of time actually going through the analysis that Paul had done to really provide a kind of act as a devil's advocate and a third-party view on those findings. And it was actually a great process. We challenged each other, and at the end of the day, we got ourselves to a place where I moved myself very clearly from being a skeptic on the numbers to actually really buying into the numbers.
Warren's not an easily swayed individual. So the fact that he has looked at the numbers and he's made what I would say is almost a 180-degree turn on where from where he started. And I think it is really important because I think for business, you know, we have shareholders that we're responsible for. It's hard to live in the gray in the business community. You need hard numbers, and you need to be able to stand behind those numbers. And to have somebody of Warren's stature to be able to say, I've looked at this, I went in with a skeptic's eye, and I came out a believer, is very meaningful and very powerful.
I think as business leaders, we're really inundated with both social research and social metrics. And inevitably the number associated with the social metric is so high. But when a business leader takes a look at it and comes back and says, you know what, not only is the metric accurate or the number accurate, but by the way, I think the business community can actually have a meaningful impact here. I think to me, that's what engages me as a business leader to say, one of my fellows has agreed that we should all jump in and actually help and contribute to making change. And that's what influences me to want to make a change as well.
When Warren Beach did his analysis on the work-life squeeze, it really made a difference to the Surrey Board of Trade. That is why we moved forward with the first ever Business and Families First dialogue. When we had that event, it really was lights on, you know, what's going on in our workplace and how is our future going to be compromised economically if we don't pay attention to this now from a provincial and from a federal government perspective.
From a business perspective, these costs really show a real cost in terms of loss of productivity. As a finance guy, that ultimately translates itself into a lack of profitability in the business. And from a big picture perspective, there's really a cost, I think, in terms of lost human potential. That's why I'm involved. I'm very happy to lend my support to raising public awareness on this issue, and I hope you'll